The last couple of times that we saw you, we were talking about squares and square roots. And today we're going to continue on our journey with exponents, and we're going to be talking about perfect cubes. All right. So before we carry on, let's just ask, I want to ask you guys a question. When we say I'm going to cube a number in maths, what does that mean? Okay, Mbali, I see a hand up. Yours was first. Go for it, Mbali.
It means you're going to times it by itself.
Okay, but a square is when you times a number by itself, Mbali. Okay, Motabang, what does a cube mean?
It means it times the number 3 times.
Okay, exactly. So you're not multiplying the number by itself and then by itself again. All right, so this is super, super important for us. We need to know this going forward, the word cubing. Okay, so when we cube a number in maths, this means we multiply the number by itself. And by itself again. Okay, so if we take a number like 2, for example, and I decide that I want to cube 2, right, I would write 2 cubed as 2 to the power of 3, because the exponent tells me how many times to multiply the base 2 by itself. So this means take 2, multiply it by itself, and then multiply it by itself again. All right, so in this case, 2 cubed, or 2 times 2 times 2 would leave us with 8. Does that make sense to everybody? So 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8, right? Why do we learn about cubic numbers? Where do you think we're going to use this in maths? Does anybody know? Why would we learn about cube numbers? What would be important about cube numbers? Yes, Anati, what do you think? Where do we use? You're welcome to unmute and talk, Anati.
Exponents.
Sure, in exponents, absolutely. But it also has an application in something else as well, not just in exponents. Malachi, where is that?
Area.
That's squares. Squares are area, cubes are something else, but that was a very, very, very good guess. All right, anybody else know? Where would we use cube numbers in maths? Okay, maybe this is a difficult question. Well, we would use cubic numbers, grade 7s, when we were doing volume. Oh, okay. Has anybody done volume at school?
No.
Yes.
No volume at all.
I just
Okay, so, oh, Tatelo, you've done volume. Tina, yes. Lindy, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Bang, yes. Okay, Naomi, thanks. You can keep those coming. Naomi, what were you going to say?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm late. I just wanted to say sorry.
No, that's fine. No problem, Naomi. Okay, Tisha, what did you want to say? Is it Tisha? Tisha?
I am Naomi is my mom's name, and
Okay.
and Tersha is my name.
Tersha. Okay, Tersha. I'm sorry I pronounced your name incorrectly. Did you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to say sorry that I'm late.
So you were late. Okay. All right. That's perfect. Okay, Tersha, no problem. Okay, so if you haven't done volume, it's really not the end of the world. Okay. But when we work volume out at school, perhaps what they might ask us to do, and I'm just going off over to the side over here, is volume is calculated by multiplying the length by the breadth by the height of something. So if I pretend that this is a fish tank, okay, and it's a cuboid or a rectangular prism, okay, I could say in my fish tank, what volume of water could I have in my fish tank? I mean, presumably I'm not going to fill it right to the very, very top. But let's say if my fish tank was 10 meters long and it was, oh, that's very long to have a fish tank. That would be like in an aquarium, wouldn't it? That's a bit unrealistic. Okay, let's pretend that the fish tank is 3 meters long, it's 2 meters wide, and it's 1 meter high. How would I work out the volume of my fish tank? Does anybody know? Okay, let's see who's got their hands up. Okay, Gift, how would I work out the volume of my fish tank?
Ma'am, you would get the answer by plussing them all.
Okay, not plussing, Gift, by multiplying. Okay, so you would have to multiply all of them together. Awam,
Yes,
what did you want to say?
I wanted to say you were going to say.
Say that again, Awam.
Ma'am, I wanted to say that you were going to say 3 times 2 times 1.
Okay, that's right. So 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, so 3 times 2 times 1 mean I would get 6 meters cubed. Okay, so meters times meters times meters would give me cubic meters. All right, and that's how much water I'd be able to put in my tank. Okay, so there you can see as an example of a perfect cube that we needed. All right, but let's pretend my fish tank isn't a cuboid. Let's pretend that my fish tank actually looks like this. Let's pretend that it is, if I looked at one side of it, it would be a perfect square. So let's pretend my fish tank is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. So the difference between it being a cuboid and it being a perfect cube is that, oopsie, 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter would be 1 perfect cubic meter. Right, so perfect cubes make the shape of the blue object, okay, not the purple one. Right, so if I had a bigger fish tank, so let's say my fish tank was now, let's change color. Let's say my fish tank was now 2 meters. 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters. Okay, or imagine I'm now talking about a tank of water at an aquarium. Imagine now if my cube was 3 meters by 3 meters by 3 meters. Now that's a lot of water. Okay, so all of these are perfect cubes. All right, so 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. That's the first perfect cube. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. That's the second perfect cube. And 3 times 3 times 3 is the third perfect cube. And that would give us 27. Okay, anyway, so just like square numbers, do you remember square numbers made square shapes?
Yes, ma'am.
So you remember that. Okay, so cube numbers make cubes. Okay, so like square numbers make squares, cube numbers make cubes. All right, so there are 6 spaces. Yes?
Ma'am, is it the same concept?
It's the same idea, except we're just multiplying a number by itself one additional time. So if we're talking about square numbers, let's say I talk about 4 squared. That means 4 times 4. When I talk about 4 cubed, it means 4 times 4 times 4. That's the difference.
Ma'am, but when we're doing cube roots, do we not say 4 times 4? That's 16, and then 16 times 4.
Okay, but now we're not going to do cube roots today. All right, but we will talk about cube roots later on. So we can only talk about cube roots once we've done the perfect cubes and we're working back the other way. All right. So for example, like
Okay,
you've
ma'am.
got, so 16 is a perfect square. So when I take the square root of 16,
Teacher,
I'm going to get back to 4. So similarly, 8 is a perfect cube. And when I go backwards and I take the cube root, we're not going to talk about that this lesson, I'm going to end up with 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 gave me 8 to start off with. But we're not going to talk about that this lesson. Okay.
teacher.
All right. Are there any questions?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what do you want to ask, Jody?
Teacher, when we will it be a number as 4 and to the power of 4?
Absolutely, Jody. You can have exponents. You can have any number can be an exponent. It could even be a fraction. It could even be a negative number. And
Okay,
when you
thank
go
you,
into
teacher.
high school, you'll learn about those. Okay, but only the ones where you've got to the power of 2 and to the power of 3 have names. So any number raised to the power of 2 is called a square, and any number raised to the power of 3 is called a cube. We don't have names if we've raised a number to a power 4 or a power 5 or anything like that. Those don't have perfect names. Okay. All right, let's go and have a look at the first 20 perfect cubes. All right, so now what we are doing, remember, when we're working with a cube, is we're taking a number and we are multiplying it by itself and then by itself again. All right, so the smaller numbers are super, super easy. The bigger numbers are a little bit more difficult. I'm just showing them to you so that if you want to watch this video again, or you've got some other work that you're doing, that you can come back and you can have a look at this, right? But you should be able to do, I'd say, at least the first 5 perfect cubes, and you should know them off by heart. All right, so I'm now going to pick on someone. I'm going to ask Ntakelo. Ntakelo?
Ma'am, before you start, I just have a
Okay,
question.
Kaya. Sure.
So, ma'am, when we're working them out,
Mhm.
do we first say 5 times 5, the answer, and then times 5?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what you'll have to do. And I mean, no one will expect you at school, I'm sure, to work out 14 cubed just like that. But if they did ask you to work it out, that's exactly how you would do it. So you'd say 14 times 14, you do long multiplication, and then take your answer and times it by 14 again. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. All right. So Ntakelo, I was going to ask you, is there a question?
Yes, teacher. Teacher,
Okay.
can we use a calculator for this?
Okay, you're not supposed to use a calculator when you're in grade 7. You can, but you're not supposed to.
Okay,
Right,
thank you.
you're supposed to rather try and work things out. Okay, and then when you get to high school, they'll probably let you start using a calculator, because it's very good for your brain to practice multiplying numbers and to do mental maths. Okay. All right, so, okay, well, Gift had his hand up first. All right, so Gift, 1 cubed is?
1 times 1 times 1.
Lovely, and the answer to that would be?
1.
Lovely, well done, Gift, perfect. Okay, to Taylor, the next one is yours. What does 2 cubed mean?
2 times 2 times 2, which equals 8.
Beautiful, Tatelo. Thank you so much. That was perfect. Okay, Jody, you're next. 3 cubed means?
3 cube, teacher. 27. 3 times
Certainly.
3 times 3 equals 27.
Lovely. That's beautifully put, Jody. Well done. 100%. Okay, Kaya, you're next. 4 cubed. What does it mean?
Ma'am, 4 times 4 times 4.
Absolutely, which is?
And I'm just working it.
64. And Barley, do 5 cubed for us, please.
5 times 5 times 5 is 125.
Absolutely, it is Mbali. Well done. That's perfect. Okay, so there are the first 5 perfect cubes, which I'm sure they probably at school would want you to learn up to 6 cubed, right? Does anybody know? Well, actually, I'll ask Anati because that's the next hand on the list. Anati, what's 6 cubed?
6 cubed is 216.
Absolutely. How did you know that, Anati? Did you work it out on a calculator?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Humi is next. Do you know what the answer to 7 cubed is? Humi, do you know what the answer to 7 cubed is?
Sorry, ma'am, can I help?
Humi's not answering. Okay, Awam, do you know what 7 cubed is?
Sorry, it's 343, ma'am.
Well done, Awam. That's a difficult one. 343, certainly. Latabo, do you know what 8 cubed is?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you get?
Ma'am, it is 512, which is 8 times 8 times 8.
It certainly is. Good job. Well done. Okay, Busi, what's 9 cubed? Busi, do you know what 9 cubed is? Okay, Busi's not answering. Mutaban, do you know what 9 cubed is?
No, ma'am. I thought I was going to do 10 cubed.
Okay. Well, do you want to do 10 cubed?
And can
Yeah, I
I do
want to.
this one?
Sure, go for it. Okay, so Mutaban, just hang on 2 seconds. Okay, go for it, Kaya.
729, ma'am.
It is 729. Good, well done. Okay, Mutaban, 10 cubed?
The answer is 1000.
It certainly is. All right, so we get the idea, okay? We're multiplying these numbers by themselves and then by themselves again. And so we can continue forever and ever and ever and ever. All right, so I've got the next 10 numbers cubed here as well. I'm just looking at the time. Okay, I suppose we can do these. Aratilwe, what is 11 cubed?
Ma'am, 11 cubed is 1,331, ma'am, and it is 11 times 11 times 11.
That's lovely. Well done. And Patson, what is 12 cubed? Patson?
One 1,728.
Okay, Awam. 1,728 is right. Takalani, what's 13 cubed? Do you know? Okay, well, anyway, the rest of these we get 2,197 when we say 13 times 13 times 13. And when we say 14 times 14 times 14, we end up with 2,744. Can you see these numbers are getting pretty big pretty quickly? Also 15 cubed, we get 3,375. I'll just go through some of these. Oh, hang on. Okay, so there's some questions, okay, in the chat. All right, then 16 cubed means 16 times 16 times 16, which gives us 4,096. 17 times 17 times 17 is 4,913. 18 times 18 times 18 is 5,832, 5,832. 19 times 19 times 19 is 6,859. And then the last one, 20 times 20 times 20. Can anybody work that out without a calculator? What would be a quick and easy way to work that out?
2 times 2 times 2.
And then what are you going to stick on the end, Jody?
The zeros.
How many zeros?
3.
Good. Well done, Jody. That's great. Okay, perfect. Yes, Anati, that's quite right. Okay, lovely, guys. Well done. All right, so those are the first 20 cubes. Nobody will expect you to learn all 20 of them, but I think if you learned up to number 10, that would be really nice. And it certainly would be helpful for you next year when you go into grade 8. All right, some of these you're also going to need for the questions that we're going to be answering now. So I have found a really cool worksheet. Oh, I think it's a really cool worksheet. And that's what I want us to do now. So we're going to practice our squares and our cubes together. Okay, so if we have a look here, there are going to be 10 questions and each of them has 4 possible answers. Okay, so you need to look at the question, read the question, and then you've got to work out what the answer is, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call on people who've put their hands up, and then when I call you, it's going to be the next question. All right, so first up here I can see is Maria. Maria, which of the following is the perfect square of an even number?
64.
64. Okay, so that comes from
8.
8 times 8. Good, well done, Maria. That was great. Let's give that one a tick. All right, the next one, Takalani, on squaring each number, which number will have a 4 in its units place? Takalani?
Ma'am,
Which
I
number
wanted
has
to ask a question.
Oh, okay.
Ma'am, I wanted you, ma'am, to like put that board down because, ma'am, I wasn't done answering the questions.
Okay,
The
so
20,
you... Oh, okay. So Takalani, you didn't want to answer this question?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. All right, that's fine. Okay, SK, do you know the answer to number 2? On squaring each number, which number has a 4 in its units place? Do you know the answer to that?
It's 12.
It's 12. Okay, and that's because 12 times 12 is?
144.
144. Okay, so if we've learned our perfect squares, it's really easy because this is 121, this is 169, and that's 100. Okay, so that's why it has to be C. Next question. All right, so this is now for Oratilwe. How many odd numbers are there between 1 cubed and 2 cubed? How many odd numbers between 1 cubed and 2 cubed? And that means that 1 cubed is not included. Okay, so between means the numbers they give you are not included.
Ma'am, I think 2.
You think 2?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. All right. I don't agree with you, Eratilwe, but you're very, very close. Let's see if Devin knows. Devin, do you know how many odd numbers there are between 1 cubed and 2 cubed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Devin, tell us, how many numbers are there between 1 cubed and 2 cubed?
3.
There are 3, absolutely. Do you know what those 3 numbers are, Devin?
3, 5, and 7.
Good, well done. That's great. So 3, 5, and 7. So that's why D is the correct answer. Well done, Devin. That was lovely. Okay, so next person up is Humi again. The missing number in the sequence, Humi. 149, and then this missing number, what's it supposed to be before 25? Humi?
Ma'am, can you please repeat?
Okay, so we're doing question number 4. All right, and we need to write the missing number in the sequence. Our number sequence goes 149, our missing number, and then 25. What's the missing number, Humi?
15.
What number? Say that again.
I think it's 14.
Okay, it's supposed to be 16. Okay, these numbers are perfect. They're perfect squares. Okay, so 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4, and 3 squared is 9. Okay, and 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25. Okay, Anati, the next one belongs to you. Anati, what is the value of 3 cubed and 14 squared?
223.
223. And what does 3 cubed mean, Anati?
27.
Good. And 14 squared is?
196.
Lovely. And then we added those two numbers together. Good. Well done, Anati. That's lovely. Motabang, the next one is yours. Number 6. The cube of this number will have a 7 in its units place. Which number is it? Motabang? A, B, C, or D? What do you say?
I think, I don't know, ma'am. I think it's D.
You think it's D?
Yes,
B.
ma'am.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Oh, I'm so wrong.
Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so I see there are some people that are posting things in the chat that are not appropriate. All right. If you are going to use bad language and you are going to insult other people, all right, it's not going to be accepted or tolerated by Watobe, and you're going to have to go and have lessons elsewhere. Okay, we're not going to accept that. Remember, this is a place that's supposed to be nice and fun for all of us. We don't call one another ugly names here. All right, so I'm just warning you again, if you do it even once, you are going to be removed. Okay, so don't do it. Yes, Chad, what's up? What's up, Chad? Okay, so Chad, try and fiddle with your settings, Chad. Otherwise, Katlejo, maybe you can help Chad. He says his mic isn't working. All right, let me carry on with this. Okay, so where were we? Motsabang, you were going to tell us the cube of this number will have a 7 in its units place. Which number is it, Motsabang?
3.
It is. Okay, well done. It's 3 because 3 cubed is 27. Lovely. Good job. Well done. Okay, here we are. How many perfect squares? This is a nice, difficult question. Kaya, are you ready? This is yours. How many perfect squares are there between 101 and 405? Difficult question.
Ma'am, I said, oh, ma'am, I said 11.
Yeah.
Okay, who agrees with Kaya?
Me.
Who's me? Zandi.
Me.
Okay, so what we can see is that if we go to 400, 400 would be the smallest perfect square below 405, right? So that means that we could include 11 squares. Yes, Charlotte?
Ma'am, you're going too fast, ma'am. This is my first time here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try and slow down a little bit. Okay, I know this is your first time here, and that means that we have already spoken about squares and square roots in our other lesson. So I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you hadn't done this. But it is going to be a little bit difficult for you to understand what we're talking about if you missed the other lessons. All right, so when we're talking about perfect squares, the perfect square needs to be bigger than 101 and it needs to be smaller than 405. So we know that 10 times 10 is 100. So it has to be a number that's bigger than 10. So we've got 11 times 11, which is 121. 12 times 12, which is 144. 13 times 13, which is 169. 14 times 14, which is 196. 15 times 15, which is 225. 16 times 16, which is 256. 17 times 17, which is 289. Then we've got, what's next? 18 times 18, which is 324. And then we've got 19 times 19, which leaves us with 361. And then the last one would be 20 times 20, which should be 405. So basically, we have got the numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, which means we have 10 numbers. Did I do that right, Kat?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm still helping
Yes.
with the private chats.
Oh, sorry, no problem. Do you agree there would be 10, not 11, 10 perfect squares between 101 and 105?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, all right, good job. Okay, so now the next one, Koliswa. 125 is the perfect cube of what number?
5.
Exactly. Okay, well done. The perfect cube of 5. Excellent. Okay, guys, does that make sense? No, Kuhle, we're not going to do a quiz after this lesson. It's after the lesson on Thursday. All right, so now Kat and I are going to be quiet for a little bit. Wednesday. Sorry. Thank you, Nima. All right, now you guys are going to try these ones by yourselves. There's no shouting out and no sharing answers. You're going to write these down yourself. After a little bit of time, I'm going to scroll down and we'll do the rest of them. I'm going to give you 6 minutes to do the first 4 questions. Okay? So we're not talking to the teacher now. We're going to do these questions by ourselves. Yes. Who's that?
I don't quite understand exactly.
Okay, so you're going to have to answer the question. So in other words, there's a missing number, right? And it's been what we've been talking about. So you need to say what the missing number is in the sequence.
Okay.
So the first number is 8. The second number is 27. The third number is missing. You've got to work out what that is. Okay, and it's got to do something to do with either squares or cubes. Okay. Let me move this down. Okay, hold on a second. Let me move that down and I'll make it a little bit bigger.
Teacher,
Yeah.
should we only answer until 4?
No, we're going to do all of them, but maybe just answer until 4 for now. Okay, there you go. All right, so that's the first 4 you guys are going to do, and then we'll do the others afterwards. Anybody else got a question? Okay, you guys try those 4 on your own.
Excuse me, teacher, what should we do when we're done?
Have you done the first 4?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, then just wait 2 seconds.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Lindy.
May we take pictures of this?
Of course you can, and you can watch this video again if you like.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
No problem, Lindy. All right, so what you can do is when you're finished, you can put a smiley face or a thumbs up in the chat for us. Okay. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Do you have a question?
No, I was gonna give the answer.
Which to the first one?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. You can do the first one.
Can I just say the answer now?
Go for it. I think most people are finished. What did
The
you
answer
say
is
the answer
64.
was? You
64.
said the answer was 64. Good. Well done. That is nice. Good job. All right. So 64 is the correct answer. Lovely. Well done. Okay. And now number 2, Ampulusa. You want to do the second one for us? Ampulusa?
$100.
100. Okay, good job. Well done. It certainly is. Okay, Oratilwe, you do the third one for us.
Ma'am, the answer is 343, ma'am.
It certainly is. Okay, 343. Well done, Oratilwe. That's lovely. Humi, do number 4. Humi, you can do number 4.
Ma'am, may I do number 4?
I don't know what's happened to Humi. Yes, you can do number 4. It is?
9.
9. Okay, good. Well done. That's perfect. All right, so now you're going to do another few on your own as well. Let me just make some space. Well done, guys. That's great. Good job. Okay, so let me just make some space here. Oh, there's me riding a unicorn. We'll worry about that later. Let's just make this one a little bit bigger. Okay. Even if we go up there, that doesn't matter. Okay. All righty. Okay, so now you guys are going to do, who's talking?
Ma'am,
Yes, Charlotte. What's up? Okay, now you're going to do number 5 through to number 8. And then again, put a smiley face. You finished.
ma'am,
Yes.
how do I send a message in the chat?
Okay, so you'll see at the bottom, all right, there is a bar that comes up and there's the word chat on there, and then you click on the chat and then you type in it.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Jody.
By number 6, teacher, but you first 4 to the power of 2, what should we make it? 16 to 36.
Exactly, Jody. Well done.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Tahila, what's your question?
I don't understand number 7.
Okay, so let's say I take a number like 81. 81 is a perfect square and it has the number 1 in its units place. There's units and there's tens.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got to find a number that has a 1 in its units place.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you need to work out 10 cubed, 11 cubed, 13 cubed, and 12 cubed. Remember, I showed you all the cube numbers up above. We had a look at all of those. So if you wrote them down, it would be useful for you now. You'd be able to work out which one this is.
Thank you.
Okay. And then when you're
Excuse me,
done,
ma'am.
yes.
I don't understand number 6.
Okay, so Asemahle, what is the value of 4 squared?
16.
Exactly. And what is the value of 6 squared?
36.
Absolutely. Now you need to count how many even numbers there are between 16 and 36. Okay, but that does not include 16 and 36 because they use the word between.
Yes.
So the next even number is going to be? So after 16, the next even number is what?
18.
Exactly. Okay, so then you've got to count how many of them are between 16 and 36.
Ma'am,
Yes, Latabo.
ma'am, so for number 6, ma'am, we must count until 36, ma'am.
Yes, but you're not allowed to include 36.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, because it says between. Okay, so when
Yes.
they use the word between in maths, they mean that the ones that they've given you are not included.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I'm done, but I couldn't send the smiley face in the chat because the chat has been disabled.
Okay, so Sihle, which one didn't you understand? Say again.
No, I didn't understand. I understood everything. I'm just saying that I'm done, but I couldn't send the smiley face because the chat has been disabled.
Oh, okay. All right. I think that's because people were saying things that weren't appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just have to hang tight. Okay.
Ma'am, can I please do number 7?
Okay, Anati, I'll save that one for you. All right,
Thank
well,
you.
I think no problem. Unfortunately, because the chat is disabled now, I'm guessing that most of you would probably be finished. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so let's go through these. All right, so the first person on our list is Maria. Okay, Maria, how many perfect cubes lie between 9 and 150?
3.
3 perfect cubes. Okay, what are they, Maria? The 3 perfect cubes. What are the numbers? Do you know? Okay, so there's 3 cubed, which is 27.
Ma'am, can I do it?
Go for it, Takalani, lovely.
Ma'am, isn't it 8, 27, 64?
Okay, but is 8 between 9 and 150, Takalani? Ish. Okay, so 8 is smaller than 9. Okay, so 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27. So the next perfect cube after 9 will be 27, and then it would be?
64.
Good. And then it would be? Which is 125. Exactly. Okay, so Maria was correct. Okay, now we want to do number 6. Anati, it's all yours.
Number 6 is 9.
Anati says that there are 9 even numbers. Okay, so Anati, those numbers are? 18. Read them out to me.
18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34.
Lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lovely. Well done, Anati. That's perfect. Okay, Katleho, your hand is up next. Which one of the following will have a 1 at its units place?
Ma'am, may I answer number 7?
Okay, Amahle?
It's 13 cubed.
13 cubed, because 13 cubed is what?
Because 13 cubed is 13 cubed is 2,197.
97? Okay, but then it's not going to be 13 cubed. Okay, so let's go up here. Let's go and have a look.
Ma'am, it's
All right, so it had to have a 1 in its units place. So we started at 10 cubed and we ended at 12 cubed.
11.
So there's 10 cubed. There's no 1 in the units place. Here's 11
Ma'am.
cubed. Look, there is a 1 in the units place. Okay, so it's supposed to be 11 cubed. Yes?
Okay.
It's supposed to be 11 cubed. 13 cubed is not the right answer. It is 11 cubed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Jody, yes.
8.
Jody says 8. Square of 8, which number is
Oh,
at the
teacher.
units place?
6.
There's a 6 in the units place? I don't agree with you, Jody. Devon, what's in the units place?
3.
Pardon?
4.
4. Good. Okay, so the square of 8 is? The square of 8 is?
64, ma'am.
64 it is. Okay, so there is a 4 in the units place. Yes, what's the question?
Ma'am.
Yes. You can ask your question.
Ma'am, I can't, how do I type in the chat, ma'am?
Okay, so Charlotte, let Katleho help you. All right, Katleho, maybe you can just talk to Charlotte quickly and see if you can help how to write in the chat. Okay, all right. Okay, so we've only got a few minutes left. We have to do a poll today. So there's a question that we're going to ask you guys afterwards. But before we carry on, I wanted to ask you, before we do that, I wanted to ask you a question. What do you think about cubing fractions? Do you think it's possible for us to cube fractions? Do you think that's something that we can do?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
Just hang on.
Yes.
There's another
Yes.
inappropriate
Yes, ma'am.
comment.
Yes,
Kat?
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Unfortunately, there are other people that are saying things that are inappropriate.
Yes, ma'am. And we must kick them out.
Yes. Okay,
So
because we're not
good.
going to tolerate people using language like that. That's completely inappropriate. All right, and yes, the answer is you're all right. We can cube fractions as well. So I don't know, maybe this one's a little bit small here. Let me see if I can maybe make that a little bit bigger. Okay, can you see which fraction has been cubed in number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes.
what I've got written here, in case it's a little bit difficult to see, is that this is 1/3 cubed. Now, I don't want to know what the answer is. Okay, we can work out the answer now. I want someone to tell me what this means. What does it mean? So 1/3 cubed. I'm going to take someone in the chat. Let's see who's got a hand up. Okay, Devin, what does it mean? Devin, what does 1/3 to the power of 3 mean?
I don't know, ma'am.
Okay. Lindy, do you know what it means? Lindy?
No, ma'am.
You don't know what it means. Wanani, do you know what it means? 1/3 to the power of 3.
To me,
What does any cube mean? What do you have to do with numbers that are cubes? We were talking about it at the beginning of the lesson. It means we've got to take that number and multiply it by itself, and then by itself
3 times.
That's it. One more time. Okay, so now you guys have done a lesson with Rebecca on multiplying fractions. So everybody able to answer this question now that we know what it means. How do we multiply fractions?
And it's a whole.
It's a whole. Is it? A third times a third times a third is a whole? Isn't that plus?
No.
Okay, so,
Oh, no.
so if I say a third plus a third plus a third, then you're right. I do get a whole because I get 3/3, which is 1. But I am not plussing, okay, because cubing means I've got to take something and times it by itself.
Teacher,
Ma'am, is it a third?
ma'am,
It's not a third, it's not a third, Kaya. Yes, Jody?
should
ma'am,
we
it's 1.
multiply the denominator as well?
Absolutely. So when we multiply fractions, grade 7s, we multiply numerator with numerator with numerator, and denominator with denominator with denominator. Okay, so this is supposed to be 1 times 1 times 1 at the top, which is 1, and at the bottom we've got 3 times 3, we've got 27. Okay, so can we see when we multiply a fraction with another fraction, our answers start to get much, much smaller. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to do one. Okay, this is a difficult one that I'm getting you guys to do. So number 5 is yours. You guys are going to do number 5.
Ma'am?
Yes, Kaya?
Ma'am, for number 5, I just have a question.
Sure.
Okay, ma'am, can I use number 4's example?
Sure.
So, ma'am, when you said 3 times 3 times 3 for the denominator, it's 27, right?
Yes.
And then do I also say 1 times 1 times 1?
You do. So at the top, you say 1 times 1 times 1, and you write the 1 in the numerator. And then at the bottom, you say 3 times 3 times 3, and you write the 27 in the denominator.
Ma'am?
Yes. Just
So,
hold
ma'am,
on,
even
Jody.
with number 5.
Teacher, I
so,
got the answer, but I had to.
Okay, just hold on a second, Jody. I'll come to you now. It's not a problem. Okay, Kaya?
So, ma'am, even with number 5's numerator, do I say 5 times 5 times 5?
Yes.
So, ma'am, it's not what you do to the bottom, you do to the top.
No, what we're doing is we're multiplying the top by itself 3 times, and we're multiplying the bottom by itself 3 times, because that's what a cube
at the end?
means. Okay, I don't think you'll be able to simplify it because you're going to have an odd number over an even number, and I don't think there are any common factors. But see if you can work out what it is. It's going to be a fraction.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so Mbali, do you have an answer for question number 5?
Yes, ma'am, but I'm
Bali?
not sure if it's right.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not sure if it's right.
You know what, Mbali, if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. We'll talk about it and we'll fix it. Okay, we're not here to judge. We're all just here to learn and share and have a good time. So tell us, what did you get? What was your answer?
I got 125 over 64.
Beautiful, Mbali. Well done. That's perfect. Okay, 125 over 64 is the correct answer. Okay, and that's because 5 over 4 cubed means 5 over 4 times 5 over 4 times 5 over 4. So you've done that perfectly because you're supposed to be saying 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125, over 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So that was perfect. Okay, well done. And then one last one that I wanted to ask you about. Do you think that we can cube decimals? Have a look here at number 10. I'm going to try and make it a little bit bigger. And then we've got to say goodbye. Look at number 10. Maybe what I must do is pull it down here and then it'll be a little bit easier to see. Look at number 10. Do you think we can cube a decimal? Well,
Yes.
absolutely, because we can cube any number. All right, so now if we cube a decimal, what does it mean? It means 0,7 times 0,7 times 0,7. Now, how else can I write 0,7? I can write that as let's see who's got their hand up. Okay, so 0,7 can also be written, Caroline, how? How can 0,7 be written? Go for it, Caroline. How else could I write 0,7?
I hadn't worked it out.
You hadn't worked it out. Okay, so there's 2 ways that you could do this. I see we're running out of time here, so I better just tell you guys. You can write 0,7 as 7 out of 10. Okay, times 7 out of 10 times 7 out of 10, because any number sitting over here is in the 10ths column. And now, grade 7s, we're going to say 7 times 7 times 7, which is 343, over 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000.
0,343.
So 0,343 is the right answer. The other way that we can do this is we can say, you can't simplify that anymore. It is fully simplified as it is.
Ma'am, can I quickly ask a question?
All right, now, unfortunately, we are finished. We've got to do a poll now. Kat, please, will you run the poll and then we can say goodbye to everybody.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Running. Okay, everyone, read the question. It's just one question. And then read it carefully, honestly. And then you guys may leave after you're done. Okay.